Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today a bit of a different video. I'm going back to the old style because I find with these sorts of videos it does work out a bit better if I'm telling you as I go along, because I sometimes forget things like in the moment decisions and I want to be able to say what I'm thinking at the time. So today I'm going to be working on a bead embroidered pendant. I'm going to be using the blue goldstone pewter focal piece we got with our bargain bead box. The very first thing I did, because this was domed and hollow, I drew around it on this piece of scrap felt, and then I did that twice, and then for one of the holes I made it smaller because it's dome shaped and that smaller piece sits on the inside while this larger piece fills the middle. Now what I'm going to do here is I want to make a medallion shape, so it is going to be circular, but I've done this. These are both of the flat edges from my original piece of, no it's not, I tell a lie, these are the ones, sorry. These are my original flat edges, and what I did was I married them up like each side and then drew the mark in the middle so I could keep things even and central. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is why the reason I filled this in is because we don't want too much of a gap and to be leaving too much tension. It gives it too much opportunity to release the tension of the thread. So I am going to glue this in place as well, but that just helps us add to the integrity. So you want to, like I say, figure out your middle. To draw it, I have used this white charcoal pencil, and literally, because it will rub off quite easily, it's like a chalk really, and it just helps me keep it central. Grab the glue that you normally use without destroying the whole thing, and just put yourself a glob on there. Find yourself some scrap wire to spread it around with. And then when you've done that, as you can see, actually before I forget, I've taken the loop off and filed it down because I didn't want the loop there, but I will use that as a centerpiece because it's above this loop here and I have one at the bottom, which means I just need to marry those up, and I know that I'm fairly straight. Same with these side ones, look. Marry it all up on those lines, these squiggles and these scrolls, and give it a good little push down. I've got a fingerprint of glue on this, just work that off. And then you're just going to leave that to dry for about 20 minutes. Before I completely leave to dry, I just want to mention I will leave a link, I will not leave a link, but I will leave down in the description box below everything that I used today, because this is the way that I work. I literally grab loads of different things from a certain colour scheme to try and make this will be here if I need it or if an idea comes to mind, but I probably will not use even half of what's in here. I will probably even still go and find other things that I don't have here that I think of at the time, like, oh well, I know I'll go use those. So, but this is what I do. I grab a little box and I put everything that colour coordinates and that just looks really nice together, and I put it in the one box ready for me to use and just grab on the go. So yes, I'm still leaving this to dry for another 10 minutes. So I'm back after going ahead and waiting for that to dry, and I'm going to start thinking about how I'm going to attach this here, which I have given that some thought. I thought about just using a stitch, I thought about using a 15-0 in a few places, but what I ended up deciding on was coming around to these loops because they're nice and even. I'm going to come around to each one of these loops. I'm going to add one of these 2x3mm rondelles, and I'm going to use these 15-0s as a stopper. I'm going to fasten one of those in between each one. I've already gone ahead and added my thread, as I feel most people know how to tie on their thread. And the first couple of stitches can be a little tedious to get used to it, but you just want to find your way through, which eventually you will. They're very good holes in this. Grab your crystal rondelle, a 15-0, bring that all the way down, and then skip the 15-0, go back through the crystal and back through the hole. Just like that. And I want you to do that in all of the holes. I'll do another one with you. Try and gauge where I need to go through. There we go. Crystal rondelle, 15-0. Bring those down. Skip the 15-0 and back through the crystal. And you just do that on each one of these scrolls. Okay, I have gone all the way around, and now I really want to use up these. I only have 4 left from my bargain bead box, so I'm going to take these blue goldstone English cut beads, and I'm also going to take these faceted rounds that I got from my bargain bead box. I'm going to take 4 of those as well, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to first pop that on to decide where my needle needs to come up, because I'm going to pop an English cut, one of each, here, here, here and there, and I'm going to put one of the faceted rounds there, there, there and there, basically following each of our crystals. So to do that, because they're a larger size, I will want to come up in the right place to keep everything nice and even. So I'll put the first couple on with you. Just like that. Pop it in place. Pop your needle straight down. And I do like to go through larger beads a couple of times to make sure they're fastened. It's probably just a me thing, but so there's that one. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the faceted round. So I'm going to pop it right there and try to come up in the right place with my needle, which amazingly I just managed to first time. That literally never happens. Put that on. And go around one more time if you want to. Like I say, I just like to with the larger beads. Like that. And you want to do this for each, like I say, each crystal we've just put on, you want to correspond with that, with the English cut and the faceted rounds. Right, I am back after adding those, and this is really starting to take shape, starting to add a little bit of weight to it too, so it's not going to be too light, which I know was some people's concern with the pendant itself, was that it was quite light. So I did want to add some weight to it, and this, all of this natural stone is doing that wonderfully. So the next thing I want to do is come in with these spacer beads, because these are actually perfect for bead embroidery because they aren't heavy. So I can add quite a few of these without adding too much weight to my finished piece. And what I'm going to do with these, I'll show you. I'm going to come out, where am I? I'm at the top here. I'm going to come out next to, I'm going to come out right there, right next to the, there we go, that's better. Right in the corner there, but with enough space so that my thread sits in the middle of these beads. I'm going to pick up two, and I'm going to go in the other side, just like that. And I'm going to simply do that all the way around, and then once I've gone all the way around, I will go around them again to secure them, so it will mean that I've been through each one twice. So one more time with you. Come up right in the corner there, grab two spacer beads, and go in the other side, and just do that, like I say, all the way around, and then I'm going to make one more pass around for security. I haven't done my second pass around yet, but before I do, you might notice that some of your beads are, the ends are sticking up rather than laying down flat. So what I suggest you do, I've done it over here, is come up in the middle of those beads, just like that, right close to the bridge, right in the middle, and then just jump over the bridge and come directly down the other side of the bridge there, and that will just pop them down and make them sit face to face again. So if you're finding you're having that trouble, go ahead and do that as well. So come up between the beads, go across the bridge directly down, and that will pop them down again. Okay, and I'll be back when I'm done. Now I have gone round and added and secured the spacers. The next thing I want to do is I want to use my 6mm round goldstone that we got, and there is also going to be space of 2 each for these in between these spaces. I'll just show you, we're going down there, so I want to come right over here with enough space again so that the goldstone bead will fit in the middle part there. So I show you, to blue goldstone. I'm going to pick up 2 at a time to make it easier and quicker for myself, but I'm also going to go through and secure each one also. So I'm going to go through like that and add them, and then I'm going to go through the first one, and the second one. Just like so. I'm going to add these again in between every 2 beads, every of one of the goldstone English cut and round cut. So add them there. First add both, then I'm going through one at a time. As you can see, I will also be needing to change my thread soon. Just keep adding exactly like this. I have gone ahead and I have added all that blue goldstone around the edge, and after originally thinking I wanted to make a pendant, I think I actually want to leave this like as is now and want to make a brooch out of it, because I really love the petal like rose-like shape I've ended up with by doing this the way I have. I really don't want to add anything else, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this up, find a bit of leather to back it with, and I will be back to make it into a brooch back with you. The first thing I'm going to do is cut around this. I'm going to hold my thread with my fingers out of the way, and I'm just going to cut this lovely petal shape. Once I have cut out the rough petal shape, I'm just going to go around and neaten it out a little bit. There we are, and once you're happy with your shape, find your backing that you want. That can be, obviously I'm decided I'm going to use leather. You can use any backing that you like. I'm going to go ahead and grab that backing now. I've decided to go for this beautiful soft blue to go with it. I think it's a really nice colour and complements that perfectly. Even though it's going to be on the back, I do like to complement it. And to get a piece that I want to work with, I want to cut this into a rough square just around my brooch. Just have it known you can tie off this bit and cut it off. I'm saving it to start my edging off with. And now that I've got this, I'm going to come to the back, place it back on. I'm going to grab a pen and now I want to decide where my top is. So I think I want that to be my top. So yeah, right there. I like that shape. So I want my brooch quickly for the brooch. So now I want to cut a hole there and there. Fold it over, keeping that top of the design like that. Snip there. Snip there. Next there, tip it up, and now you want to glue it all together. So I'm going to grab the glue. You want to give a good amount over here so some can soak behind that brooch and create a good hold. Then we want to grab our piece and line it up. And give it all a good press down. What I actually like to do is grab something weighty, like a large book, and pop it on top, just to make sure everything sticks beautifully and firmly. Give that brooch a good firm push. And then what this would do, this is the bead, it's not very heavy, but it's weighty enough to hold that down, and we'll be back when that's dried to do the edging. So everything's nice and dried, and as you can see I've gone around and I've just trimmed around the shape here. And for I don't often do a Picot edging, and I haven't done one yet on video, so I'm going to do a Picot edging with you today. And for that I'm going to I'm going to be using 8/0s. You can use some 11/0s, 15/0s, you can use pretty much anything. I'm using these 11/0s, these 2x3mm crystal rondelles, and then another 8/0, sorry, I think I said 11/0 a minute ago, so I'm using these 8/0s. A 2x3mm and another 8/0, and you want to go across roughly the distance of 2 beads, so I'd say that would be about there. Pop that in there and then go up through just that one bead there. Like that. That will end up being a little bit closer together. Oh, not disappearing down there though. And now you just want to continue that pattern along, but obviously we already have one here, so now we just need to pick up the crystal and an 8/0 and go in right next to that one there. Put it tight and then go through just the 8/0 and pull it up I'm going to do this all the way around the edge. I'll do a couple more with you, a crystal, an 8/0, into the next bead, into next to the bead, up through that first 8/0, up through the 8/0. And you just want to do that all the way around, and I will meet you back here to finish off and hide our thread. Now I am all the way round back at my first bead here, and to finish off all we need to do is add a crystal, go down through that bead, I'm going to go through to the back, and I'm going to create a nice neat stitch for this side. Right there. And then go back up the bead. And that's finished off rather beautifully, and I really love this brooch. I'm glad we decided to, or I decided to stick with this. And now I just want you to tie off your thread. Once you've tied off a couple of times, I'm going to come down through one of these beads, and I'm going to come in between the two layers. I'm going to come out at the back like that. And then pull it a little bit tighter than you need to, because as you release, your thread is going to disappear back into that leather and it's completely gone. And that is our brooch. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. I hope you'll be back for future content. I have spied people's bargain bead box for this month, that their videos are already out, which will be, what would it be, June, July, August's box. And I will say I love the colour palette. I've tried not to look, but sometimes it's unavoidable. But I can't wait till that arrives. That should arrive with me either tomorrow or the next day, but until then, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will join me in the future for more videos exactly like this. Bye bye now. Take care.